Hi, Mark. Yeah, Tuesday, December the 9th, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. That's 2:30 p.m. GMT. US session well underway. Let's have a look at the performance of the US dollar. There's the green candlestick. So US dollar starting strong going into the US session. Uh, was sold off a little earlier, but has fought back. You can see the wickets left behind. I've got support 98.58, and right now testing the resistance at 98.84. Let's see where the US dollar strength can continue through the US session. Demand for US and buyers will look to break above this level. If there's a turnaround from strong US the way it started to weak US, sellers will be looking down at this support area around the 98.58. Let's have a look at the majors and see how they're performing. Firstly, the Euro US, and there you see the red candlestick that's selling euro, buying US dollar. Earlier in the European session, we saw some US dollar weakness, buying euro, selling US, all the way up to intraday resistance, sitting at 116.58. There's been a turnaround from weak to strong US dollar, and sellers of euro, buyers of US now pushing lower than the open. You can see that, and support sitting at 116.30. Sellers will look to test this level and looking at yesterday's support down at 116.16. So US dollar is fighting back now that the US session is underway. Let's have a look at the pound against the US. There you see also red candlestick testing support right now. Can move that today's support that little bit lower. I've got intraday resistance at 133.57. That was earlier buying pound, selling US dollar. Turnaround from weak to strong US dollar. Selling pound, buying US, red candlestick, and I've got support at 133. So we'll see whether sellers can break below this 133. Tough level to break below. We can see that here and going all the way back to October. Not an easy level to break through. We'll see whether sellers can. Sellers of pound, buyers of US can remain. If there is demand for US and they can continue the selling, break below this support level and below 133, or if there's going to be a turnaround from strong to weak US dollar and buying pound, selling US, we'll be looking back up at the intraday resistance. Let's have a look at US yen. And here you're seeing strong US dollar against the yen. Last 3 days, higher highs, higher lows. EMAs haven't yet crossed over. We'll see how today plays out, if they can get the EMAs to cross to the upside and initiate a new uptrend. I've got support right now at 155.71 and resistance at 156.51. And right now, buyers of US against a weak yen testing that intraday resistance level. Lastly, we have of the majors, let's look at the US against the Canadian. US not able to fight back against the Canadian. We saw the way it ended last week, selling US, buying Canadian, strong Canadian against a weak US. Did try to fight back yesterday, the US, not really with much success. Resistance today sitting at yesterday's resistance, that's 138.58, and sellers right now testing the 138.29 support level. If this continues, selling US, buying Canadian, weak US dollar, sellers will look to retest yesterday's low of 138. But so far, weak US dollar against the Canadian. We'll see how that plays out during the remainder of the US session. We've got resistance support levels to work with, whether we're looking for a break above or below resistance or support, or a bounce off those levels. Good trading. Keep that discipline. I'll see you at the end of the day.